Hello, welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at a Morpeko in the Open Ultra League. Yes, we're gonna take a look at this Pokemon here today. This is a Pokemon that is not fully XL yet. I still need a few more XL candy in order to fully build this thing here, but I was very interested in trying this Pokemon out. Today, we're gonna take a look at this thing here as yeah, this is a new Pokemon being released. It's a fun Pokemon being released. It is a very strong Pokemon, my favorite Pokemon currently to play in the Open Great League, so what can I do in the Ultra League? Yes, of course, it's going to be a little bit better in the future. I'm going to try to get it to level 51. I'm going to try to get the last few XL candy for this Pokemon as well, which are a little bit more than 100 at this point still. But I am definitely going to enjoy when this Pokemon is going to be fully built, because it was already a little bit like a lot of fun, to be fair. It has a lot of play still. Of course, it's not going to have the same play as you're going to have it in the Open Great League. Nobody has to be fooled by this one. I'm not going to say that you should be going around and build your Morpekos, as most people are definitely missing even more XL candy that I am missing as well. But I still think it's a fun Pokemon. I definitely do think it's a fun Pokemon. I do think when it's fully XL, it actually has a little bit of play as well. It also shows in like the calculations that Morpeko has a bit of play if it's fully XL. And when it's fully XL, it goes a little bit above 2200 MR at like level, like CP of course. At it's actually going to be exactly 2222 CP for this Pokemon at level 51 of a 100% variant. And honestly, there are quite a lot of matchups that you can do quite decent against, especially like something like Feraligatr, Cresselia, Galarian Moltres, Mandibuzz, Tentacruel, Drifblim, a lot of the top tier Pokemon in the current meta. And as you can see here, we're going to be able to take the first victory as well. So today we're going to have actually quite a lot of decent wins with this Pokemon and a lot of decent games here. For example, this one here. If we want to see this, here we are at around like level 45, I think, with this Pokemon. At level 50, I'm fairly certain we won't be able to knock them out here. Just one-shotting them with this move. Now I still can get to another charge move here, but generally speaking, I would be able to guarantee alignment basically at this position if I had my Pokemon at the maximum CP. And that's something that we kind of have to talk about as well here a bit today. There are a lot of matchups where I would have had a little bit better play if I just had the fully maxed out variant yet, but of course, like, this Pokemon got released a few months ago, like 1 month ago. It's only released in Go Battle League reward. I'm kind of happy they already got up to over 100 XL candies, and yes, I could fully build this here with rare XL candies, but for this I feel like it's kind of not worth it. But as you will see, Tentacruel against us. Tentacruel going to be a Pokemon that is going to be okay for this team. We're going to have some, acid spray is a little bit annoying. We have Fly here coming through against them. This is going to be fine as well. Fly is going to now connect against the opponent, getting the shield. We're going to try our best here as well to use a shield against the opponent's Pokemon. There's going to be another acid spray coming through, and we're going to swap out here into our own Maloma as the Ninetails is coming through. We're going to be able to go ahead, go for a hit, and we try to undercharge a little bit because I knew I would need a little bit of energy maybe still, but as we will see here, I could have either maybe undercharged so much that I would be able to get that to a move directly, or get like even energy with my Talonflame like this. The opponent can still go for a charge move here, but this was definitely a winnable battle there, especially if I had my Morpeko at level 50. Great lead for the next one. Drapion is a bit of a trickier one. This like the thing as well, it's a little bit tricky sometimes to build a team for this one. I actually wanted to go ahead and use Chestnut in the back instead of Maloma, but apparently, I'm fairly certain I built a Chestnut for the Ultra League, and apparently I deleted it. So that was not too great. I apparently deleted the Chestnut for the Open Ultra League, and this is definitely a bit of an issue. So yeah, I have to most likely build another one. I'm actually looking real quick on my videos. I actually made a video towards Chestnut in the Ultra League. I actually did not. Maybe I never built one. Who knows? I thought I maybe deleted mine, but maybe I never built a Chestnut. Could be also the case. Anyway, we're going to have here the Rhyperior against us. We still have our own Maloma. Maloma is going to have access to the move Super Power, which is going to be very important for this matchup here, as I'm going to use a shield against a potential Rock Wrecker. This is going to be the Rock Wrecker coming through as well. And then he decided to swap out into the Clefable, allowing me to go up to 2 Super Powers, which is very important in order to deal with the opponent's, Rhyperior there. Swift is coming through. We're going to see here the Fly is coming through very soon as well here against the opponent. We're still going to be able to take at least 2 Swifts from the opponent as well, as we will see here another Fly going to connect. But I'm not too sure. Maybe the next Swift is actually already enough to knock us out. This would make this matchup a little bit more tricky. And as we're going to see, they can still reach the move. Let's see on how this is going to go. It's going to be a Swift. It's going to knock us out. Now it's down to the Maloma. I can still go ahead and go for the foul play. but it is looking a bit tricky. It is going to be somewhere where we have to try our best to get to another foul play, to try to get the knockout here. Let's see on how this is going to go. We're going to be able to get the knockout in incamps. Here now the Rhyperior. We go for the superpower. Superpower is going to allow us to take the KO and we can win the battle. Next opponent, let's take a look at the Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is going to be very good for our lead. In comes Primarina. I make a huge mistake here. Yes, I'm going to be able to get a shield here for sure, but as we will see as well, we're gonna need to go back into our Talonflame launcher. I should have just stated from the beginning, because it's very likely they're going to have another Fairy type Pokemon on the back, and that's going to be a struggle then for our own Dark type Pokemon later on. So let's see here, we're going to have the charge move coming through. It's going to be the Fly. It is not going to knock them out, but we can at least fully farm them down after it with the next fast move. And in comes the Dragalge. Dragalge is going to be definitely something where we're going to be able to do a ton of damage against with the Brave Bird, but they decide to use a shield here and we can swap out, get the Ferrothorn against us, and we have a bit of a struggle here. I make a big mistake, to be fair. I should go for the foul play here. I decided to go for the superpower, but not only this is also going to be a superpower that is going to be CMP tied against the opponent. And again, this is like the thing as well, I definitely did not play all the battles perfectly here either, and we will see it here directly as well. As you can see, we're going to be able to get the knockout here against the opponent, but the issue is that they're still going to have the the Dragalge here, of course. We're going to swap out, we still have a charge move stored, we have to reach another charge move here, which we can't. And honestly, if I just played it a little bit differently, I think I definitely would have been in a position where I, would be in a very winning position here, because there was like so many things that I could have done better. I didn't do it, and so sadly, I am going to lose this battle here. It's going to be an outrage, very likely, and as we will see, the opponent is going to be able to knock me out. It was definitely something that was winnable. So, next opponent, let's take a look at this. We're going to have here the Weezing, the Galarian Weezing against the lead. That is going to be definitely fine. We can take a Brutal Swing, we can just play this matchup out. We could even swap out eventually, because we have Psychic type damage with our backline. We have Morpeko here, of course, and Psychic Fangs. We're going to also have, let's see here, the opponent going into the Gastner, which is going to be interesting. It's going to give the Psychic Fangs as well there. Let's see what's going to be happening next. It's going to drop the opponent's defense, and we can still go for the Aura Wheel. We have a little bit of a lag, but luckily we still get this move off, and this should do a lot of damage here. Let's see. It is definitely doing some promise and damage, and again, I feel like if we would have been level 50 or like 51 here, I might have been able to knock out the opponent at this range. Like, we would have maybe done a little bit more damage with our fast move, a little bit more damage with the Psychic Fangs, and then afterwards with the big Aura Wheel there as well. So I feel like there is quite a lot of potential for Morpeko in the open Ultra Lake. You just have to fully build it, and of course I'm not going to be able to do it at the current time, but I will hopefully be able to do it in the future. In comes the Drifblim here, of course. Drifblim has to take a hit. They decide to let the move go through, which is kind of unfortunate for us, but we can still swap out into our Malamar. Malamar is gonna love the foul plays that are coming through here. This is going to use it. Yeah, we're going to use a shield here. As soon as coming through, we can go for the foul play against the opponent, and this is going to be fine. This is going to be able to get the shield, and let's see what we can do next. We're going to try our best to reach out for the foul play. Foul play is coming through. This is going to be enough to take the KO against the opponent, and as we will see, we can now farm them down and win the battle. Talonflame against Guzzlord next. This is going to be a matchup again that is going to be quite neutral for us. It's not really ideal, because especially our backline can struggle quite a bit. But what we can try to do here is we can maybe try to hit a big Brave Bird, and Brave Bird is definitely going to help us out quite a bit with this matchup. Even if we're going to not hit the Brave Bird here, we can still go for a Fly afterwards. But as you will see, we're going to get the Brave Bird in, we can get the Fly in, and with this we're going to be able to get rid of the hardest answer to our team here, which is going to be great, as he can swap out back into our Morpeko against the opponent's Skuntank, which is actually quite decent for me, because here at least I'm going to be able to go for the Aura Wheel, which will do a ton of damage, but they decide to use a shield here, which is not ideal, and sadly we're not going to be able to survive really any hit anymore. I should let the move go through, I do let the move go through. It's going to be the Trailblaze. They're going to still have a ton of energy, and it's down now to the Malamar. Yeah, Skuntank in this scenario is just not ideal either. Like, two Dark-type Pokemon are just very tricky for this team, as we have our own Dark-type Pokemon. Yes, we have Superpower here, which is going to do some neutral damage. They swap out into the Drifloon though, giving me actually a little bit of hope here for the battle, as Foul Play is going to be able to connect against the opponent, is going to be able to get them into the deep red health, and we can swap out of here, knock them out with the Incinerate, and now it's down to us hitting a Foul Play bait and then a Superpower afterwards. Let's see if this is going to work out. They're going to decide to use a shield. Can we still knock them out with a Superpower? It's going to be a very close matchup here, and it is going to now connect against the opponent, not doing enough damage, and we sadly just barely lose here. Primarina in the lead. This is going to be a very neutral matchup again as well. We're going to be able to just go for some Incinerate damage, but funnily enough, Primarina is not that bad for this matchup because they have access to the move Rage Fist. They get to Rage Fist super fast, making it very difficult for us as well to time our flies here. And as we will see, we decided to use a shield against the Rage Fist because it would still do a lot of damage now with a boost here on them. And we can go for the double fly, forcing 2 shields from the opponent, but not only this, I can also swap out afterwards, and maybe it's going to allow us then to farm down with maybe the Malamar, because this time around I actually decided to go into the Malamar. Very unlikely they're going to have a Dark type Pokemon in the back if they already have a Fighting type Pokemon in the lead. They usually don't really want to be too weak to the Fairy typing, and so I felt like Malamar was kind of a safe swap, and it was a very safe swap here, so you're gonna get out the opponent's Tentacruel, which is also weak to Malamar. I could use a shield here, but I decided to let the move go through. It's still gonna drop our attack, and this is actually quite crucial for them, because now I'm not going to be able to fully farm them down, which I think I would have been able to do otherwise, definitely. And also, I am kind of forced to swap out eventually here. As the opponent swaps out into their Primarina, I can go for a fast move here. I can use no shield, I don't need to shield at all. The Rage Twist is coming through, we can still take it. They stay in, they go for another Rage Twist, but we can use a shield here again now. Knock out the opponent, have a fly stored. And with this, we have energy on our Malamar, we have a fly stored. We're going to be able to get the fly off against the Sand Slash. And this is going to be a resisted damage, which is not ideal. We don't get the Incinerate damage in. They have a little bit of energy already, but we can still go for the Superpower here on the CMP tie, winning us this battle without even showcasing our Morpeko here. And we can move on to the second to last battle. We're going to have the Tentacruel in the lead. That's not really ideal. We can swap out straight away into our electric type. They swap out into their Pangoro, allowing me to go for an Aura Wheel. And again, to see on how much potential this Pokemon has here, we're going to see the damage of an Aura Wheel. Again, if we would have the level 51 variant here, I'm fairly certain we had a decent shot at doing enough damage to fully farm them down afterwards. As, yeah, of course, those few levels do definitely still give you a little bit of an impact there. And I am fairly certain I would have had a little bit of a better time there as well. But anyway, we're going to be able to get the shielded advantage against the Fighting type Pokemon with our little, mouse Pokemon there, as we will see the Tentacruel coming back in. Having to take a Brave Bird here might be a bit risky for them to use a shield here. Yes, exactly, they're going to let the move go through, and we can fully farm them down with the Malamar. They have a Drifloon in the back, and I'm fairly certain there's nothing that they can do to win the battle anymore. I'm fairly certain that they kind of lost the battle at this one already, because yes, they're going to be able to debuff me here, but they're actually going to win the CMP tie, which is not really ideal here. Drifloon is going to go for maybe a Shadow Ball. That's why I had to use a shield here. It's going to be the Icy one. But to be fair, I make a little bit of a mistake in this battle, which we're going to see very soon. We're going to see that I decided to go for the move here. Totally fine. But also, yeah, I actually going to use a shield here, which I should have not done. I should have decided to just, let the move go through and then swap out into my Talonflame, because Talonflame would have been able to go for the full farm down, still had the shield left for the Tentacruel, would have been able to go for a fly, and like this, I'm going to be in a very tough spot, and I'm not actually too sure if I'm going to be able to win the battle now. Can we win the battle? It's going to be very tricky. Skull coming through, going to knock us out. Can we still get to the Superpower? We cannot, and this is definitely my fault. I would have been able to easily win the battle if I just let the move go through, the second Icy went, and that is just kind of silly by me. So again, like for most of the battles that you saw here today, it was either down to Morpeko not being fully XL yet, or me playing bad. And this is something that is quite decently to see, like to show here as well, that Morpeko might actually have a little bit more play than you expect. And as I said in the beginning, I don't gonna use my Rare XL candies because I'm only gonna use them on mythical Pokemon. Anything else doesn't make sense for me to use my Rare XL candy on, unless maybe there's going to be like I getting like a Shadow legendary Pokemon just after release and I want to make a video about it, then maybe I use some Rare XL candy. Funnily enough, early on, when Rare XL candies first got released, I actually used a lot of them onto a Lapras, so that's kind of embarrassing. But I think that's one of the most embarrassing things that I did in Pokemon Go. But it was a rank 1 Shadow Lapras. It has no play at all anymore, since basically like for the last 15 seasons basically. But I definitely have a rank 1 Shadow Lapras, which is really, really cool for the Ultra League. That's kind of crazy, and I needed some XL candy for this one. But anyway, you're gonna see the foul play coming through, and we're gonna set ourselves up to sweeper with Morpeko. Morpeko is going to be our sweeper here, but I have to be sure that Morpeko actually going to be able to knock out the Giratina. I'm not too sure about it. I have no idea about it, but so far, I'm more surprised on how much damage Morpeko actually does than, yeah, basically what I expected. Basically, it does always a little bit more than I expected. Usually the book is not as ideal, but as we will see here, they go for the Wild Charge, it's resisted, it's still doing a ton of damage, and I could go for the Aura Wheel to boost my own attack, but I wasn't too sure if I would be able to still reach another Aura Wheel afterwards, because my health was already so low. And as we're gonna see here, I would have been able to very likely reach it no matter what, also with the attack boost, but it doesn't matter because Aura Wheel is going to be able to knock them out, and that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.